Hello guys, my name is Desmond and I welcome you to my lesson for today where we'll be looking at your mathematics paper 1. So ladies and gentlemen, please do allow me to say it is very much important that I say it is very much important because what I'm about to say it's massively hey, massively important, ladies and gentlemen, that I say a day without learning something new, it's a day wasted. By so saying, please do make sure that by the end of each and every lesson that I conduct, you learn something new. Okay, question number 2 is what I'll be taking you through in today's lesson. So you are given 2.1, which says simplify fully without using a calculator. So good people, every time when you are given a math problem which does not have an equal sign, just know that type of a math problem is what we call an expression, meaning when it has an equation, when it has an equal sign similar to that, we call it an equation. Meaning this one, it is also an expression because it does not have an equal sign. But all of these are what we call equations. So what do you do when you're given an equation? You solve. What do you do when you're given an expression? You simplify. Okay, so this is what I would do. By having a look at that given expression, you are able to notice that your unknown, being the letter, in this case letter x, it's in the power of exponent, meaning you need to use exponential loss. Your unknown, it's in the position of an exponent, meaning you need to use an exponential law. Okay, so let's have a look at our bases. We notice our bases cannot be written in their simplest form. 2, it is just 2. You can't write it as 2 to the exponent of something. So what we can do is just to expand those exponents or the powers. So that means you can write a 2 to the exponent x multiplying 2 to the exponent negative 3 minus 3 multiplied by 2 to the exponent x multiplied by 2 to the exponent invisible 1. You can just leave it as 2, or you can write that invisible 1. All of that divided by 2 to the exponent x multiplied by 2 to the exponent negative 2. Can you see? Guys, why did you have to expand it that way? It is because of you having a sign of a plus or a minus in between. That is the main reason why you had to do all of that. The main purpose is so that you can take out a common factor. Can you see? This is a factor which is common in both terms. Remember guys, a sign of a plus or a minus, it separates the terms. So at the bottom we only have one term, but here we have two terms. How do I know I've got two terms? It is because I notice there's a sign of a minus. If there was a sign of a plus, it is still a term. So that is why you had to expand the exponents so that you can take out a common factor being 2 to the exponent that in 2, and then you write whatever that remains which was attached to that. Remember, in between you've got a multiplication sign to the invisible 1 there, all over 2 to the exponent x multiplied by 2 to the exponent negative 2. Very, very much important, ladies and gentlemen, that you did all of that. Why? Because you wanted to cancel out the like terms. You only have the numbers that you can easily punch on a calculator and get your final answer. But most importantly, try to charm examiner by working out that, and then you multiply this by that, you get 6, and then this one, you know, it's 1/4. Then you follow mathematical procedure in order to arrive at the final answer. Very, very much important, ladies and gentlemen, that you try to do all the possible maths steps so that you score maximum marks. So now, quickly, I'll take you through the next question, but for now, let me just undo so that I've got a clean space there. Okay, number 2.2. They say solve for x. The moment they say solve for x, that means you are given an equation where you solve for the unknown represented by letter x. Good people, I forgot to mention that in case if you don't want to miss any of my upcoming lessons, please do make sure to click on that subscribe button, and most importantly, smash that bell notification so that you are notified every time when I upload a new video. And most importantly, if you want my one-on-one lessons, you can just check in the description of this video where you can make contact, or on the about section there's my contact number there where you can send me a WhatsApp. Then from there I'll take you through one-on-one lessons, or you can join my classroom. Ladies and gentlemen, 2.2.1, you are given an equation which is 2 minus 16x to the power of -3/2. All of that is equated to 0. Okay, so can you see in this case you've got your unknown in the position of the base and not the power. So that means you don't need to stress that much about you applying the laws of exponents. But what you can do, try to have the letters on the left side and then have the numbers on the right hand side. What do I mean by that? Take this 2 to the other side so that you have negative 16x to the exponent -3/2, and then this is equals to, when you take it to the other side, it becomes -2. So what do you do? Remember, guys, remember, let me give you a very quick story. Let's say you've got gold. This is your gold underground, and then it is full of, let's say, some soil there, or surrounded by rock, and also there's a bit of water. Let's say a bit of water or some other chemicals there around that gold. So what do you do in order to extract that gold? You need to remove or cancel the rock surrounding that gold. That is why what you do there, you divide by -16. Why do you divide by It's because you want to remove it so that you get to your gold, which is x. So remember, in mathematics they say whatever that you do on the left you also do on the right, meaning you are now left with your gold to the exponent -3/2, which is equals to, negative cancels, then 2 goes once into 2, and it goes how many times into 16? I think it's 8. That means that is the same as 1/8. Okay, so now can you see, now the rock is removed, so you are remaining with some water together with unwanted liquids. What do? You also need to somehow remove that. So How do you remove it? Can you see it's in the position of the exponent? Meaning, what you do, you need 2 on your next step, which is x to the power of that. What you need to do, it is to multiply by negative 2 over 3. Good people, that's how you remove an exponent, which is a number. Why do you multiply by that? It's so that this cancels with that, this cancels with that, and this cancels with that. Then you remain with your x, which is your letter. Then you provide your value of x. Remember, on the right you have that. And I've just explained whatever that you do on the left, you also do on the right. Meaning you have that, you multiplied by this on the left. You also do the same. So that means you multiply by negative 2 over 3. Then you punch all of that on your calculator. That's how you get the value of your gold. So it is as easy as that. Let me quickly take you through the next question, which is also not that much complicated. Let me just try to erase all of that in that manner. Removing all of these. Okay, so now let's have a look at the next question, which is 2.2.3. So you are given x, the square root of 9, which is equals to 3, 2, 4, 3. Guys, the tricky part in this question is for you to rewrite this in a different format. And this is how you write it. So this is the same as 9 to the exponent x, not x, but 1 over x, and that is equals to 2, 4, 3. So that means if, good people, you have x square root, let's say, of 1p there, this thing, it is the same as y. Can you see that y being the base in there? And then you have your p, which is your power, you write it as p, and then you say over that, which is over there, which is x. So in this case, we had invisible 1 as our exponent. Very, very much important, ladies and gentlemen, that you are able to notice how you can rewrite that. But someone can also do it this way. Say, okay, this thing can still be rewritten as x square root. We know that 9, it is that. Meaning this thing, it is the same as 3 to the exponent 2 over x. Can you guys see? There are multiple ways in which that can be written. You can either simplify, work it out, or whatever. Then that means in this case, that 9 that I've removed, you will have to now rewrite it as 3 to the exponent 2, and then you multiply that 2 by that, then it ends up being 3 to the exponent 2 over x, which is equals to 2, 4, 3. But can you now see that you've actually converted this thing into that, where your unknown is in the power of exponent? Meaning you might also need to rewrite that as, let's say, 3 to the exponent of something, so that the bases are the same. Let's check. What is 3 to the power something that will give you 2, 4, 3? Let's say 3. Hey, my calculator. Okay. Let's say 3 to the exponent, maybe let's say 4, it's equals to, okay, it gives something else. Calculator, I'm not really sure what's going on with my calculator. Let me quickly try to get another one. Okay, so we say 3 to the exponent, maybe let's try 5. Yes, it works perfectly with 5. So that means there we are having 5. So can you see, we now have bases which are the same. then they fall away, and then we equate the exponents, meaning you have 2 over x, which is equals to 5. So can you see you've got a fraction on the left? Let's also fractionalize this one on the right, meaning we have something that we can easily cross multiply, meaning this times that, it's going to be 5x, which is equals to that times that, which is equals to just 2. Then you need to remove that so that you get closer to your diamond, meaning x, it is equals to 2 over 5. So that's how you easily work out that problem. So good people, let's now have a look at that last question, and then from there we'll be done with our question number 2. So just make sure that as soon as we're done with this one, you check out my other lessons that I've done where I explain how you approach this type of questions. And most importantly, guys, just in case if you've got any questions, you can still comment in the comment description. Oh yes. I am aware that you are wondering that why did I skip 2.2.2. But let me just do it. I wanted to actually leave it for you to work it out. It's allocated 4 marks. Let me just give you a clue in terms of how you do that question. So remember, guys, you ask yourself this question. Can you see your unknown? It's in the position of the exponent. Always remember exponential loss. 4 can be written as 2 to the exponent 2. That 2 being multiplied with that x, then it ends up being that. Okay, so now you are having plus 8 there. 8 is just a number. Therefore, you still have 9, which is just a number, multiplying 2 to the exponent x. So maybe let's try to take this thing to the other side so that somehow we have a quadratic equation. I'm just not sure if this is going to confuse you guys, because I wanted to actually do another lesson which prepares you to this type of questions. But most importantly, guys, just remember that the moment you notice your power being to the power of 2, always remember quadratic equation. So that means we need to rewrite all of this in that quadratic format. So that means we have 2 to the exponent 2x minus 9 multiplied by 2 to the exponent x, then we have plus 8 there, then we can equate everything to 0. I'm sure at school there was a point where they said let k to be equals to whatever. So we are also going to apply the same thing here, but you need to be aware that this 2 to the exponent 2x, it is still the same as 2 to the exponent x multiplying by 2 to the exponent x. I'm not sure if you guys are able to notice that. Remember, when the bases are the same, you add the exponent. So it's more like it's 2 to the exponent x plus x, which is the same as 2 to the exponent 2x. That's how you play around with the laws of exponents. So if we let our k to then be 2 to the exponent x, so that means it's more like we have k times k. So it's more like we have k times k minus 9. Remember, also this is actually k, then you have plus 8, which is equals to 0. So now can you see what is k times k? It's k squared minus 9k plus 8, and this is equals to 0. Then you can easily factorize all of that, and then after factorizing you get your factors from there. what you can do, it is therefore to say, let me do that. You can therefore say whatever k value that you have, let's see, maybe let me work it out. I know you must be having -1 and also a negative 8, so that when you say -8 times that, it gives you +8, and then this -8k, -1k will give you -9k. So that's how you easily factorize that one. Okay, so now what you then do, you can therefore say k it is equals to +8, or k it is equals to +1. But remember, your k it is actually 2 to the exponent x, which is equals to 8, 2 to the exponent x, which is equals to 1. But if you remember, 8 can be written as, so that means here you can have 2 to the exponent x, which is equals to 2 to the exponent 3. Bases fall away, then x is equals to 3. And then on this side, if you remember, 1 can be written still as 2 to the exponent 0, because anything to the exponent 0 is equals to 1. Then the bases fall away, and then you have your x being equals to 0. So I'm hoping that you guys will understand that, even though I did not want to include it in this lesson, because I felt like I had to take you through the basics so that you are able to notice your steps without me having to explain how you approach that. But it's fine for now. Let me then move on to the next question. So remember, guys, just in case if you've got a question, you can just comment in the description, in the comment section. And also, if you want to join my live lessons, you can also find the information in the description on this video. Okay, so quickly, let's have a look at that last question where they say simplify fully. Okay, something that you need to be aware of is that when you are given something similar to that, you need to know that this is actually the same as square root of the same thing inside, but having a different signs, multiplied by p, then you have a plus q there. Very much important, ladies and gentlemen, that you are able to notice that. These are the basic stuff that we learn in grade 10. Also, you still have all of that. So for now, we can write it as it is. There's nothing much that we can do on that one. So it is therefore that all of that divided by we are having p minus q close to the exponent 1/2. So there's that note, they say do that if p is not equals to q, because if p is equals to q, that means at the bottom you might be having some values which will end up giving you some errors there. So we are taking into consideration that p, it is never equals to q. Now, what is our next step? I want you guys to notice something very much important. Something very much important. You remember, guys, if you have square root of 4, this thing, it is the same as 4 to the exponent 1, which is that invisible 1 there. Here, there's also an invisible 2. So that is 4 to the exponent 1/2. That's something that you must always remember. So it's only when it starts from 3 going up where you can therefore see it written there. But if there's nothing there, let's say square root of p minus 1. So that means this thing, it is the same as there's an invisible 2 there, meaning it is actually p minus 1 to the exponent 1 over 2. The 1, it is that 1 there. And remember, everything has to be inside the brackets because the square root squares all of that. I hope you have learned something out of that which will make you understand what I'm about to do now. Okay, so let's see. Meaning, what you are having there, it is actually the same as p minus q to the exponent 1 over 2, also square root, not square root, but multiplied by p, opposite sign being a plus, q 1 over 2. You still have that multiply p plus q close to the exponent that. The whole of that is being divided by p minus q 1 over 2. Can you notice something, guys? This, it is the same as that. That is why they cancel each other out. So you remain with this having the same base as that. And you do know that the laws of exponents says when you have the same basis, you can add the exponents, meaning we can say p plus q close to the exponent 1 over 2, and then you plus that other power being 5 over 2, and then you can easily work out this part where you are adding the exponents. So just make sure to follow mathematical procedure and do not take shortcuts on that one. By that I mean you've got your common factor there being 2, so it's more like you actually have that, and then you have your common factor being 2. Then what are you having there? Then you have a 1 plus 5. What is 1 plus 5? That is 6. So let me just write 6 there. So it's more like now you have 6 divided by 2, which is 3. So let me just remove all of that and say that is 3. Let me do that. Let me do that and say you are having 3 there. So this is where it ends. So I hope you guys did fully understand what I've done on that one. It looked a bit tricky, but you need to be aware of the laws of exponents in order to successfully be able to answer that question. So guys, this brings us to the end of our lesson for today. Please do make sure that you subscribe, hit that bell notification to be notified of my future uploads. So guys, I do thank you very much for joining. My name is Desmond, and I'm out.